between the ages of 18 and 24 within the Delta region. We have been identified as the most undereducated and underemployed group in the country. They don't see our value, but I do.
Trendset Mag is an outlet for positive vibes and positive media. And today we're going to present to you Beautiful Minds of Memphis, an interview with young adults, teens, and older adults to talk about controlling our voice, art, finances, family, you name it. So enjoy the interview.
It can be you just, hustling an idea from one person to the next. Hustling is no sleep. You never get any sleep. Hustling, it's being hungry for what you want.
A lot of people think hustling is like selling drugs or pimping or some shit that don't really help society at all. But me, I started tattooing at like 16. So since then, I've looked at myself as a hustler because I always wanted to make my own money.
Does money matter?
To me, money matter when it comes to as far as like, you have to have money to eat and all that, take care of yourself, but in the long run, to me, paper doesn't mean nothing.
In the art world, you don't need to have money to make art, but you gotta make art to make money.
Totally morbid idea. If I have somebody that passes away that was really close to me, having more money is not gonna change any of that. It's just gonna make my pockets a little fatter. And if I lose all my money, I guess having money or money mattering only gives you more perspectives about the things that really matter in your life.
Can art change the world?
I believe that art can change the world simply because I feel that everyone in the world, whether you rap, sing, paint, whatever you may do, I feel like that expresses what a person is, who that person is.
Art changes the world on a daily basis, even with our clothes, whatever we wear, how we choose to, lingo could be seen as art, like, that's what I guess Basquiat tried to, not getting too deep in shit, but he tried to incorporate lingo, but he used different languages. And when I'm learning about it, I understand that. That's all art.
Some kids can't express themselves other way but doing clothing. That's why, like, when I see different people dressed the way they do, I don't judge. You never know why people do the things they do or dress the way they do.
My favorite cartoon growing up as a kid was Dexter's Laboratory.
Why?
That show kind of showed to me that even at a young age of what I am, that anything was possible. Building a laboratory that was humongous in a 2-story house, I thought to myself, I'm like, man, he makes it look like it's easy. So it makes me think that my dream can be a reality as well.
I think my favorite cartoon was it might have been X-Men, mainly because, like, X-Men, it has a deeper meaning. Like Professor X, Martin Luther King, Magneto, Malcolm X. A lot of people believe it's based off of, the black culture and the power struggle between two struggling ideals. But, in the X-Men are black people just in general, like we're really gifted people.
I like Chucky's style, the orange, spiky hair, the glasses. He was the most afraid out of everyone, but still went on adventures with Tommy and the rest.
Does that kind of show through your life, that you kind of timid about certain things, but you go through them and work through them equally, just like everybody else?
Yes, everyone around me knows I'm shy.
Who was your favorite teacher, and what subject was it in?
My favorite teacher was my mother, and the subject was living.
What was missing in your school the school system?
In school, they didn't teach us about being a boss, about money. They taught us about, they really taught us how to be a slave, really, to go work a job every day. That's how they tell you, go to school, get a job, pay bills. It's more to life than going to work, paying bills.
If you could bring one person back from the dead and spend a day with them, who would it be and what would you all do in that day?
If I can bring one person back from the dead, it would be my grandmother. Simply because I was little when she passed, and I feel like at this point in time in my life, I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot of things that she would love to see.
If you could bring one person back from the dead, who would that person be and what would you all do in a day's time?
Honestly, I would say right now, John F. Kennedy, because I just feel like he really stood for something real and he wanted America to truly be great again. He saw where we at right now, 50 years ago now, something like that. So, and I just think he was a cool dude, honestly. Like, I just like to hang out with him and see what he could tell me.
So would a good portion of the day just be sitting down and having drinks or conversation oriented or activity? What particular things would you all do?
I think I would want to see honestly, I would want to see like maybe us out in drinks, because I would want to see more. I want to talk about serious matters, of course, but I want to see how he would handle approaching a woman. Just like, he was a ladies' man. I respect it, so. And his, the fuck ups he had with women too, because I go through a lot of that. And I feel like through all his scandals, he handled himself well,
Yeah. I'm with you. Excellent. If you could bring someone back to life, who would that be and what would you do in a day's time together?
If I could bring somebody back to life, it would be my grandmother. She hasn't passed, but she has Alzheimer's. So it's like she's here, but she's not here. And the reason why is because I resemble her so much, like more than anybody in my family, but I can't connect to her because most times she doesn't even remember me. And it's so sad because I can learn so much from her about myself. But if I could bring her back, I would.
So why was it important for you to take this position? There are hundreds of magazines. There may be 3 or 4 major magazines that possibly do have a positive news tab on their site or anything like that. Why was it important for you specifically to be the person to deliver this positive content?
Right now, it's strictly because of the city that I'm in. There's a lot of crime. The crime rate is real high here in the city of Memphis, Tennessee. So I had to really sit down and think, what can I put out to better the city? So I decided to come out with a magazine. So once I came out with the magazine, I gathered this positive group of people up, and it's just been, we shot off like a rocket ever since. We just been doing stuff around the city and just doing stuff to just try to better the city of Memphis, Tennessee.